Good morning, traders. Welcome back to another live stream. If you are new, my name is Zach. This is Real Deal Futures. Before we hop onto these charts on this beautiful Tuesday, December 16th, make sure you read what's on the screen. Trading is risky. Most traders do lose money. I'm not a financial advisor. I sure as hell don't provide financial advice. Nothing I say or do is a suggestion or recommendation to do anything at all. Make sure you do your own research. Make your own trading decisions. Read CFTC Rule 4.41 on simulated trading, which is what this is, even if funded prop firm accounts. And the affiliate and partnership disclaimer that says I stand to make money from links and codes in my content, like Top 1 Futures, code RDF, Bookmap, and others. Chat, what's going on? Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome back to another show here. See what we can do on these dang charts. Good morning, Glenn B. Rhombus, King Trader, Tom Ward, what's up? What's going on, guys? What's going on? New day, new opportunities. Good morning. How you guys doing this morning? Can I take a stab at NFP this morning? Nope. No trade so far for me. Good afternoon. Much love from a very hot South Africa. Dang. Yeah, we got traders from all over the world here. Here on the live stream in the Discord. It's awesome. Awesome. There's so many different people from so many different areas. Welcome back, ASAP Futures. What's going on? What's up to my peeps on Kick? What's up to my peeps on X? We are live across platforms. I got this back behind me today. Yeah, we're looking good there as well. Nice. So, got some interesting info dropping right here coming into the open from Top 1 Futures. A timeline for the transition off of Project X. We'll talk about that. I have an ES chart marked up today. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about trying to forward test, make the most use of this interesting time coming into the end of the year, holidays, and rollover, where our continuous charts kind of all over the place with market structure and price action looking a little bit funky. Coming into some red folder news today. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about everything. But first and foremost, let's just get some initial market analysis done and kind of what you're going to see from me coming into the ending part of this year here. Got my YM chart marked up. First and foremost, not going anywhere on YM. YM has been paying me well. It is my full focus. It's my main focus. I'm going to maintain this here a bit in this Top 1 Futures pre-live account, but certainly in my own personal live accounts as well. That said, coming into the end of the year, rollover, pretty low expectations, not wanting to really try to press anything and just wait patiently. I'm waiting patiently a lot. I'm really just not getting a ton of setups. And usually that's okay for anybody in that situation. For the most part, wait for your setups, right? Wait for them to come. They don't come, don't trade. You know, if you have something that's working, you don't need to kind of throw it out the window or go try to do something else like I'm going to be doing with you guys here. But I do stream live every day. I trade live every day. I've set out to be able to trade intraday with you guys, and I have to continue to challenge myself to try to find profitable ways to do that. So I've got my ES chart marked up today. We'll be taking a look at that. Actually going to be looking at MES. Really the same stuff that you've seen from me in the past on ES. And again, I think coming into the end of the year here, especially with rollover, I looked at the market today on YM and I'm like, this is going to be no trade for me, right? Not a bad time for me to use some of these weeks where I just don't believe I'm going to have a whole bunch of great opportunities on YM to forward test, to be forward testing on low time frames, which is really just trading in a live account for me. Here on ES, I've traded ES quite a bit in the past. It's the same style, same approach that you see from YM. As far as all of the fundamentals, the core pieces that go into my approach. Main difference you'll see here is much lower time frame, which again is going to provide higher frequency, more opportunities. Is that better or worse? That's out for debate. You'll also see much more aggressive style of trading, more continuation, breakout style, potentially scaling into winners, tighter stops, tighter take profits, not stuff that's going to be held all day. So essentially it's just much more zoomed in. I like this better on ES rather than YM just because I find it to be more manageable, slower moving on lower time frames. For me, it's just a personal preference. So again, just to reiterate, YM not going anywhere. Love YM. It's going to be the bread and butter. I don't see that changing. It just is not providing too many trading opportunities throughout the day. especially coming into the end of the year and New Year, right? Even I've talked about grain of salting, trading in between Christmas and New Year's. I got live streaming to do with you guys. I'm going to try to find my way in without just straight up taking dumbass, entertaining, gambling trades, right? But I try to be, open and honest and explain what I'm doing, right? For the most part, I think if you have something that works and it's not providing a lot of opportunity, do your thing, right? Just wait patiently. So kind of what you're going to see from me today. But market's getting ready to open up. Quick market analysis on both of these. We are on the new contract, right? We are on the YMH 2026 contract. We're over from the December Z 2025 contract. Here on Project X, we're looking at a continuous chart. At least that's what I believe I'm looking at, trying to get my bearings on this thing today. As you can tell, right, I had the 49,000 evens marked out. Take a look at the high of this, right? 49,300s. So we are on the fresh contract. Prices are different here. Structure's looking a little bit different. Volume's looking a little bit different. Everything looking a little bit different. That's kind of how it goes through rollover. Based on this structure, again, coming into today, I don't see an amazing opportunity. I could certainly see a turn to the downside in YM. I could see a pop to the upside. It's one of the reasons I want to just be looking at ES this morning coming into the open. As far as the open here on YM, getting ready to open up right at VWAP. We've already tested prior day's volume point of control. We've already broken prior day's low. Opening up pretty low in yesterday's daily candle, but really right at volume point of control. Pretty balanced open here on the top end of this consolidation. We are through some of the big red folder news that we have today, just bringing a little bit of context in. Quite a bit at 8:30. It was a big pop to the upside and then right back to VWAP so far. Flash manufacturing at 9:45 a.m. That's going to come up in 15 minutes into the open as we get ready to open up here. Definitely going to have to worry about this one. As far as ES, which I'm going to be looking at alongside of YM today and looking at trading. Pretty similar price action and structure coming into this open. Already broken below, a little bit more bearish. Already broken below prior day low. Opening up right here at VWAP after a pop to the upside. Going to watch this one on the low time frames and see if we can't find our way into some test trades, right? Start to get our bearings here. Try to make use of this time coming into the end of this year. I've done quite a bit of back testing, review on my ES trading. The setup super aggressive is long right off of VWAP after a test right here. But I'm not going to jump into anything too crazy. Immediately off of the open. But I'm going to talk about one more thing right before we potentially start looking for a setup here. Top One Futures just announced this. Whoa, not what I want to do. Hang on. No. Hang on. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Top One Futures, real quick, just because I want to get it in early and be able to mention it, because a lot of you guys have been asking it. I'm going to try to get through this quickly. We talked about Project X. We talked about Top One Futures. We talked about Trade of 8, right? You guys probably know already that Project X is ending support with all third-party prop firms, as is stated in this message. What's going to happen? We now have a clear timeline here. December 31st, the end of this year, right? Not next week, but the week after. Last day to purchase any Project X accounts with Top One Futures. From January 1st to February 15th, you can keep trading with Project X. You can reset. You can receive payouts as normal. You can't open up any new accounts. You can't buy new instant-funded accounts. On Monday, February 16th, all remaining Project X accounts will migrate over to Trade of 8 and NinjaTrader. Important to note here, you probably don't want to force yourself into a migration if you don't have to. But this is the timeline. If you guys have questions on this, please feel free to ask. But this should answer everything that you want to know. You're able to purchase Trade of 8 accounts right now. Trade of 8 NinjaTrader TradingView. You can purchase Project X accounts all the way up until December 31st. You can trade those all the way up until February 15th. If you still have one that you're trading, you're going to be kicked over to Trade of 8 NinjaTrader TradingView on Monday, February 16th. Again, my humble opinion, I'd get started on Trade of 8 and NinjaTrader and TradingView. You know it's coming. You probably don't have to wait for them to kick you over before you're getting comfortable on it. But if you love Project X, you know, you got a couple more months to trade it. So that's something I wanted to mention and talk about coming into the open today. Just dropped that. They just dropped that info. Let's see. Retest a VWAP right here. Bouncing back and forth between these volume points of control from yesterday. Pretty similar structure out of YM and ES. Interested to see where we go from here. Again, on YM, like I was talking about right at the beginning, I just don't have that many setups that are presenting themselves. If and when they do, they're pretty clear cut. Today, I don't know that I would long right below this prior day low and overnight low. I just don't know that I would want to do that, right? And I don't know that I would want to short this if we climbed all the way back up towards these highs. I really don't have a nice clean setup coming, which is why I'm finding some time to get some forward testing in on ES. Take a look at ES here. Quite a bit of consolidation and structure up around these highs from ES, much more than even YM. Pretty choppy back and forth over these last crazy back and forth sessions, but quite a bit of opportunity on lower time frames, as there always is. The question is it just noise? Is it just a bunch of back and forth craziness that can be very difficult to trade? We're going to find that out together. I will have to continually zoom out and reset VWAP on this, but we'll watch ES on the 1 minute chart here. See if we can't find our way into something here. This chart looks kind of stuck to me. What's up with that? Why am I lagging here? What's good? MES on the 1 minute. Why are we lagging out? That's really weird. ES and MES here on Project X. As you can see, I'm excited to get off of this platform. Oh, there we go. Now it woke up. Yep. Getting some choppy lag. Maybe we're not going to trade ES today. Unbelievable. Unbelievable, Project X. Looks like the time is off as well. This is really interesting. Hang on, guys. Hang on real quick. I'm going to reset this and see if it's something maybe on my end. It's always something, man. It's always something. There we go. Now it looks like we're synced up. Always something here. All right, so bouncing around VWAP here on ES. Let's see where we go from here. What's up, guys? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. ASAP Futures, Blue Water Cruisers, good morning. Taco Tuesday. Dwayne, what's up? Dude, you gotta share your hair care routine with us someday. Just don't shave or get a haircut. That's the hair care routine. We filled up pretty quick. Good morning, Trader Crew. Zach, do you use continuous contract or the front month contract? I'm here on Project X. I don't have a choice. It just automatically sets. For the most part on TradingView, I do like to just use the individual month contract. But I will set alerts and utilize the continuous contract as well. For the most part, the initial swap over, like what we have going from yesterday to today, kind of throws me for a loop. I just haven't gotten extremely comfortable with how I think about and interpret the market structure price action and individual price levels, to be completely honest. So zoomed in on ES so I don't have to today. That's part of the reason here. Yo, good morning. Why YM over NQ and ES? I like YM. Personal preference. But here I am trading ES today, so we can take a look at ES together. Just preference. Start with USA 30 force proper. Yeah. 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 Same. Yeah, I could talk about YM versus ES and NQ. I talk about it all the time. Here we go. Careful, guys. Project X play in hell. Not loading for me. Top step might be down. Mine is up now. Be careful. Scrub that is 2x. There we go. Yep. Yeah, guys. Project X having a problem. Here we go. Oh, my God, dude. Guys, it's honestly comical at this point. It's late. It's literally late. Look at the data for actually I'm recording it right now, but look at the data for ES. I wonder if it's the same for YM. YM looks like it's printing in the correct area. No, it's also stuck. So, I'm not going to do anything today, guys. Project X is down. Guys, I wouldn't touch Project X at all. I would not touch it. I don't know if you guys are experiencing the same as me, but take a look. The price chart is completely frozen for me now on YM. If I take a look at ES, it's also completely frozen. You can take a look over here. This is bookmap/rhythmic data, depending on which one I'm using. You can see this is printing in real time. Project X is down again. Yeah, guys, here I'm gonna give you my knee-jerk reaction, right? I'm gonna give you my knee-jerk reaction here, which I don't usually do. I usually think in a more, calm, but I've already thought about this type of stuff. So here's my thoughts. Biased as always, right? But here's my thoughts. I love Project X. I love the user interface. I love the risk settings, right? I love the way everything displays. I love the trading view chart. I love the ability to lock yourself out. I love the reporting. I really like most of it. There's certain things I would like better, but I really prefer this platform. Here's what makes it completely useless. Literally throw it into the garbage. It's completely useless. It's dead to us, okay? This right here. It's 9:40 a.m. It's the main trading session, right? Everybody's focused up trying to trade, and we're down again. This is almost every week, okay? It can no longer be defended. There is zero defense that can be laid out here, guys. This is done. Project X has completely cooked itself this year. It is the worst trading platform available. I don't know of another one that could possibly be worse. No matter how good all of your user interface is and everything is, it's completely useless if it's constantly down. So, again, I've defended issues in the past. I've defended slippage in the past because I really like the platform. I really want to be on it. This is easing the pain that I initially felt when I read that message from Top 1 Futures and all of the other prop firms that essentially said Project X is pulling support. I was like, damn, man, I got to come off Project X. Yeah, they have some issues, but I really like the chart. This is way too much now. It's every week there's a complete outage, like there was right there. I don't know what would have happened if I was in a trade just now. It's snapping back and forth. It's displaying the incorrect data, literally printing the wrong price right now. It's insane. So I would say if you are going to continue to trade on Project X, if you're going to trade on Top Step, if you're going to trade on accounts that have Project X, you are acknowledging and taking into your own risk, right? That you're trading on a platform that is horribly unreliable. And you can't expect anything but what has just been repeated over and over and over and over again to continue to happen. So I would be extremely cautious. I cannot in good faith or conscience recommend anything Project X anymore at all. I just, I would not do it. I'm on here because I'm on a Top 1 Futures pre-live account. This is before the switch, before I'm able to transfer over. It's really disappointing to see a platform just completely implode. But, good luck. Really good luck to Top Step, who is only offering this. Absolutely insane move, but this is this is cooked, guys. This is completely cooked. So my 2 cents, my thoughts, what I'm gonna do is try to get off of this, get really comfortable with Tradeovate and TradingView personally, because this is not acceptable. And again, there's always look at there's always going to be issues, right? There's always going to be something. Platforms are not going to be 100%. It's unreasonable to think that software and companies will never ever have an issue. They will. but there's a reasonable level. There's a reasonable level to me. So I would encourage you to watch. I really encourage you to watch how everybody handles this, right? Watch the guys that are promoting and affiliated and partnered and working with a firm that only offers this platform. Watch how they continue to react to this and tell everybody to stop crying and complaining that, there's a couple issues. Everybody has issues. Look at what happened at the CME. Nah, man, this is crazy. This is completely crazy. Completely trash. I'm done with it. Absolutely done with it. Absolutely trash. I would not waste any time with Project X. Completely come off of it. There's other platforms available. Again, when I first read the message, I love Project X as far as the user interface goes. Everything that I just said, I was really disappointed. I'm not disappointed at all. I can't wait to come off of this. This is trash. Here I am, focused up, right, ready to go, caffeinated, trading live with you guys. Platform down. So I don't know. If at this point, it's like a comedy show. If you continue to trade on it, when you blow accounts, you should go, yeah, of course. It was broken every single week before this. Here we go. Yeah, complete trash. So anyway, my thoughts on this are, be extremely cautious, guys. We're coming into 9:45. We can watch Bookmap because this is completely off. Let me send a couple messages, guys. Hang on one second. Crazy, guys. Sorry, I'm just sending a couple messages, making sure that the top one team knows about what's going on. They're seeing it in real time. Insane, really insane. But it's Project X, right? It's Project X. Alerting you guys in Discord. Crazy. Crazy, 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 crazy. Yep, I see Top Steps Discord completely blowing up. Yep. Yeah, mine was glitching out. Yep, I'm seeing it across all firms. Looks like it's kind of snapping back right now, but all right, let's talk about it, guys. Let's talk about it. Chat. Crazy. Crazy. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to touch this for now. Maybe we reset a couple times. Here, let's go again and try. Try to see. It'll snap back, but I would be extremely cautious, right? If you notice that there's an issue and then you decide to trade right through it, no, it's still showing off for me. Nope. This is still delayed. could see it in real time. I'm gonna load up CQG real quick and look at CQG as well. Oh, it's close. This is really close here on ES. Looks like it might be functioning. Looks like it might be back to functioning. But that was frozen for a while. Just no print of anything, and then it was delayed. Which again, I'm able to see because I'm running Project X with their data, and then a completely separate platform with completely separate data that has nothing to do with Project X or the same data. So that wasn't good. Not good. Anyway, guys, let's hang out. We'll see. I'll tell you what I could potentially be looking for MES here. Honestly, I'm tempted to try it. I'm tempted just to send it, right, and like watch the issue happen live, or just kind of see how it goes. But I don't feel like I need to constantly be a test dummy to like prove that something's working or not working. Like, this looks pretty close, but it still looks behind to me. Project X looks really, really close, but like, why? Like, here's ES, right? Why are we stuck at 68.68, right? Okay, now we're printing a little bit, right? We're bouncing around over here. You could compare it against Bookmap. It's not that ES is not going to trade, you know, slowly and kind of stick at one price level, but I don't know. I don't know about this. Don't know about this. Looks like a potential long play. If I was gonna take one, this would I'd be looking at, long back through VWAP here, for run higher in ES and MES. I don't know, man. Do I want to be the test dummy to figure it out and get stuck in a trade, or have something not work? Probably not. Mad annoying. Anyway, yeah, let's see. Yeah, we were talking about this. Can't even log back in. Yep. Put in Discord, do not trade. Yeah. Already sent that in there. Yep. Sorry, I'm just sending a couple of messages, guys, just because I want their team to know as well. Crazy. All right, let me read the chat. What you guys got going? Can't even log back in. Yeah, Project X outages, guys. Project X outages. Issues with Project X. This is all over the place. It's literally not even printing the same data right now. This is still lagging. Project X was freezing and now has outages. So it's insane, man. Again, you know, I always try to speak like from the cuff here, right, and shoot straight with you guys. I'm partnered and affiliated with Top 1 Futures. I'm trading a Top 1 Futures account on Project X right here. If the platform that I'm on is down and sucks, I'm going to tell you that it's down and sucks. It's not Top 1 Futures issue. It's obviously Project X's issue. And thankful that Top 1 Futures is partnered now with Trade-O-Vate, NinjaTrader, and TradingView, and selling accounts that are Trade-O-Vate, TradingView, and NinjaTrader. And they just announced the transition plan off of Project X. So all in the great direction. I love it. You know, and I can make the recommendation. Just go get yourself the TradingView accounts, man. This is cooked. Project X absolutely cooked. Again, it's a platform, right? Project X is Top Steps deal, which they're going to only offer Project X. Insane play. Insane. Anyway. Top Step has sent a message out now. Nice. Morning, bro. Yep. Perfect trade before Project X started failing. Now my confidence is shaking. Nope. Yeah, I wouldn't touch it, guys. I wouldn't touch it. Would not touch it. Can Top 1 move over accounts over now? Last time I checked, they could. No. I don't believe that it will get better in 6 months to a year. The back end stuff is the hardest to pull off. Yeah, no. I don't know. What are we waiting for? It's been out for a ton of time. They're in multiple years now of this, and it's just gotten worse and worse and worse. It's every other week now. Trading view for me is the simplest. What's good, Zach? What's up, Dre? Trading is difficult enough. We need a platform that makes it more challenging. Yeah. You know, again, it sucks. Like, I don't mean to repeat myself because I like to be open and honest. Like, I really like this user interface. I really like the chart. I like it better than anything else that's out there. But I could love a car because of the way it looks and the color, you know, and like how it sounds and how fast and how it drives. But if it dies every time I take it out on the street, it's useless. It's the worst car in the world. Like, why would you keep getting in that car to drive it? You know, so it's just disappointing. Disappointing. This is why Tradeovate and Ninja Trader have to innovate just a little and they'll be the best in the game. Yeah, they already are. It's game over. It's already game over. I mean, Project X handed it to them. Like, they imploded here. And I'm sure they don't want to, but they have a major issue, obviously, on their back end. It's just every single week there's a fatal error. Or almost every single week. It's just crazy to me, man. Crazy. Anyway, it's just an absolute implosion meltdown. And again, you know, it's not at any of the prop firms doing outside of, you know, whoever owns them, right? You know, Project X, that is. So I'm short 3 XFAs in the platform. Yeah, right before the platform went down. Yeah, insane. Insane. Let it all out. I'm on top. Yeah, I try to give you guys a straight shot, but I you know, I keep my comments like. But I'm expressing like this is frustrating. Like this is frustrating to me with you guys right here, right? You know, I'm marked up. Got a whole bunch of stuff to do. We got a decent trading day ahead. We've only got a couple of trading days left in the year. We're on the last really good week of the year, and you know, here it is. Everybody's in accounts, or many people are going to be in accounts that are, you know, showing delayed data, blocked up, you know, issues. It's trash, man. Straight trash out of Project X. Yep, just completely imploding. Again, I think it would be great to get yourself off of Project X. I think if you are going to continue to trade on Project X, knowing the lack of reliability, you are taking on that risk. You shouldn't be frustrated. You shouldn't be mad that the account's down and you blew all your, you know, the platform's down, you blew all your accounts and that they don't do anything for you. You know, you're acknowledging, hey, yeah, I know how this works and I'm just going to keep buying accounts on it and trading it. You know, crazy, unfortunately. So, yeah, this still looks delayed to me. Comparing it against I have 3 data feeds on my screen right now. 2 that you can see and one over here to the left-hand side, or right-hand side. This still looks delayed to me. Not by a ton, but it's printing late. You know, a couple of split seconds late. Anyway, whatever. I could see a long from here on MES. That would kind of be the structure. We could talk about trading here in a minute after I stop bitching and complaining. But a long back through VWAP after a really aggressive sweep down here, right into the 9:45 a.m. time frame. You know, this is the long type of play that I'd be looking for here on MES for a continuation to the upside. That looks like it might try to play out. Could still hop into something, but I'm probably just gonna hang out with you guys. This is just silly stuff. So anyway, it is what it is. Welcome to Project X imploding into the end of the year. Gonna be just a historic meltdown for a platform. I've never seen something like this happen. It's crazy to watch happen. Absolutely crazy to watch happen. Anyway, can't even lie back in. Yeah, best bit is everything I was looking for today has happened. Yep. I think Top Step will be fine with Project X once they are the only ones on the servers. Maybe. I don't think so. Did trades get removed last time? I don't know. Looks like another announcement to come after MP's X last night. I don't know. Good thing to know I wasn't crazy the last couple of years. Nope. Trading View with Tradeovate is always delayed. It is. Trading View lags a couple split seconds behind real-time data. A couple split seconds, always. Enough to get anyone tilted. Yep. Guys, yeah, like, that's what happens here, right? It's not just that, oh, maybe I missed up a trade or something. You know, Nate said she's short in 3 XFAs into a, you know, a platform outage, right? This is the type of stuff that can send you. So if you're feeling that type of way at all, right? If you're a little frustrated like I am right now, you can probably see it just visually and audibly. You know, if you're not going to be able to manage emotions as well as you would be if you weren't, get off the charts. Just don't touch it. Lock yourself out. You know, the worst thing you could do is let something like this really negatively affect you, where there's an outage, there's an issue, then it comes back online. You're pissed off because you had something get jacked up. You go into another account. Like, I talked to a trader that blew a live account. I mean, it's at their doing, right? It's their fault. But stuff is frustrating, man. It happens. Decide how you're going to handle it. For the most part, take your foot off the gas. Go, all right, let me see. Let me wait. You know, I do some different things on here because I don't mind being the test dummy. I don't mind talking about it live with you guys on here, right? You know, for my community to say, hey, yeah, like, I got this one too. Honestly, a lot of the other Project X issues that seemed like they were maybe a little bit specific to Top Step, I really hadn't gotten too much of them at all. You know, my stream was still working. I was live with you guys, but not today. Not today. Good morning, y'all. Be safe out there. Trade at your own pace. Yep. This is going to make me want to rip my payouts from Top Step now. I wanted to go one more week, but I don't know after this. Yeah, I mean, you know, again, it's I got accounts on there as well. It's like, you know, at a certain point, you're accepting the risk, right? You're acknowledging the issue, and you're saying, I'm okay with that, right? I accept that, and I'm just going to keep going through. And it's unreasonable to expect anything different than what's just continuing to occur, right? You know, if you just continue to buy accounts and trade on the same platform over and over and over again, you know, I was like frustrated and surprised because I'm like, how many times is this really going to happen? Usually we got to get past this. But now after today, cooked, completely cooked. It's just absolutely insane. So anyway, I could take a loss because of my error, but a consistent platform glitch. Yeah, no. Yeah, dude, trading's hard enough as it is, right? Trading's really difficult and frustrating and hard enough as it is. If I'm going to be losing money, I'd really like it to be at my own hand. I'd like it to not be because of a platform issue, right? Anyway, that's enough for the rant. But if you missed it, issues with Project X, issues with Top Step, issues across, I think, Project X platforms. I'm checking a couple messages at the same time, but yeah, absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. Sorry, guys. I'm just checking a couple messages because I had a yeah, it's absolutely insane. Anyway, guys, I'm just checking a couple messages. Yeah, it looks like issues across Project X platforms. Yeah, Top Step obviously completely blowing up. Yo, they're crazy in these lobbies. Anyway, Project X just told me markets are closed. This is crazy. Yeah. Yep. Oh, look at that. Oh my God. Project X. Is it showing markets closed? Oh, look at that. It's showing market state. It's showing market state closed. Project X is showing markets are closed. Oh, guys. Oh, guys. I'm gonna come back to this. I'm gonna come back to this live. I'll recommend this live when people say, Zach, why do you think that it's a silly idea for us to use Project X? You know, maybe there's great opportunities, right? This is the video I'm going to show you. And I'm going to say this is one of how many times has this happened, guys? How many times has this happened this year, coming into the end of it? Absolutely cooked. Absolutely cooked on Project X. There we go. We got some updates coming from Top One. All the platforms obviously acknowledging it. We're aware of the industry-wide market data delay in execution on Project X. As a precaution, we've temporarily suspended all trading on the platform. We'll keep you updated as soon as we have more information. We'll notify you once you can safely resume. If you've been affected, please let us know through your account numbers and get support so we can review your case. Thanks for your patience. Yep. No trading on Project X today, guys. Yeah, absolutely cooked. Absolutely completely cooked. So, again, I don't want to repeat myself too much, but there's not much else to talk about when this is what's happening in front of us. It's disappointing. It's really disappointing to see. I think, it looked on the outside like a power move from Project X, who may or may not be owned by Top Step or have some partnership or whatever it is, to pull it from all of the other platforms. And I think everybody was kind of up in arms about that because they had grown to know and love it. But now with it melting down, it seems like there are massive back-end issues, right? There's constant outages, and it does seem like there's a lot of validity and truth to that initial message where it's like the whole thing's melting down. We got to pull it. The craziest piece of this, really, and again, this is not like drama or speculation. It's just talking about what our options are as prop firm traders. The craziest piece of this is that Top Step is only offering Project X. They removed all other platforms, being the biggest and largest and longest standing futures prop firm in the space. It's crazy to watch that happen. They are leaving their traders with zero options and forcing them now onto a platform with massive issues. Now, to me, that wasn't an issue in the past at all. Again, love Project X, was super psyched and adamant about Top One Futures rolling out with it. In fact, I only really wanted to be on a prop firm that had Project X. But now, coming into this, I'm super grateful, and I was pressing them extremely hard, along with everybody else, to, hey, give us another option, man. This is no bueno here. We need Tradeovate, we need NinjaTrader, we need TradingView. Which is becoming obviously the major player in the future space in general, but the prop firm space for sure. So I'm grateful for it, but this is just now completely unreasonable, well beyond a reasonable frequency for issues for any platform like this. Again, there is a level. There's a reasonable level, right? Everything will go down. TradingView will have an issue. Tradeovate will have an issue. NinjaTrader, Bookmap, everything will have an issue one day, right? Some back end thing will happen. But every week, and a fatal issue, like a blow account issues, the whole thing's down, delayed data issue in the trading space, every other week it's happening? Crazy. Absolutely crazy. So I don't think I'm being dramatic or over-exaggerated when I say Project X has completely imploded this year. It's completely melted down live in front of everybody in an absolute historic meltdown. It's really disappointing because they rose to fame to be really, I would argue, one of the most preferred platforms, certainly by me. Just really disappointed to see it. It sucks. So again, hopefully we see even more innovation and continued innovation out of Tradeovate, which they've been doing with Tradeovate Prop. Hopefully we see more and more improvements between them and the connection with TradingView, which I think we will. It's just disappointing to see this. It really is. So, anyway, that's my 2 cents on this, guys. Again, no trading at all. They literally, I don't know if this is specific to Top One, but that's the update from them, which actually makes sense. Like, don't let people trade if you know there's an issue, right? Markets are moved to closed status. Literally, I can't even trade. Data is delayed. It was freezing first and then very delayed data. So, it's a crazy thing to watch. Crazy thing to watch. Anyway, Yeah, to the people. Yeah, we are. So I'm literally sending messages right now, and I'm literally. That's what I'm doing on the side. I'm sending multiple messages, but I'm literally sending messages right now to their team. They're aware, guys. They're aware. Everybody wants to migrate. I'm sure they're going to figure out a date to allow people to migrate ahead of that end date if you have a Project X account. So, yes, as of right now, there's not that option, but I'm sure that's going to come out sooner rather than later. Project X has told me markets are closed. Yep. Closing position said market closed. Nice. There was a tip that we were going to get issues today. Dashboard wasn't showing correct data. No, I think it's the contract rule. If I had to assume, Dre, I think it's the contract rule, right? We changed over contracts, and now they got an issue. The time zone changed, they had an issue. Like any little tiny adjustment, there's a huge meltdown. So I have to assume that it's contract change, right? Like big surprise, contract swapped over. That was a huge issue. So, yep. Will top one let us switch over now? Last I checked, we talked about that. Just answered it. Each and every week, there's a new issue. At least they change it. Yeah, no. Cooked. What a pity. I really like Top6X user interface over TradeAway. Me too. Me too, Cyrus. Me too. Kind of feel like they deserve the hate of being greedy. Listen, bro, if you're gonna put everybody on one platform with zero other options, the traders are gonna make the decision for themselves, on what to do with that. Project X to me is Project X to me is a best platform, easy to move, take process, and amazing. But I gotta let go. Yeah, agreed, Dr. FP. I agree with you there. I gotta let it go. It's been great, but like I said, man, if I have a Lambo, right? If I'm a Lambo boy and it's a sick purple Lamborghini, drop top, and it looks cool, and it sounds really cool, and it's really fast, but every time I start it up and drive down my street, it explodes. I probably don't want to drive that car anymore. Crazy, they doubled down on the software. It wasn't even 1 year. Yeah. No, they didn't. They went all in. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Look at that. There we go, guys. Look at that. I was in a winning trade and got taken out. What's next? If you're with Top One Futures, reach out to their support. Send them a message with your account number. If you're with them, if you're with any other prop firm, reach out to their support. I swear, Combine and XFA fills are always different. Yep. Or maybe. Wouldn't trading view be possible through the Project X API, or is the API only for Top Step? No, the API is for Project X as a whole, but I don't know why you would want to connect Project X to Trading View. I don't know how that would help anything. Project X, DIX guys are entertaining us by giving us a new different issue each week. Yeah. Yeah. I with Top One Futures. I'm assuming you mean I wish Top One Futures would let us migrate if we want. I've got past eval, but don't want to activate if it's on Project X, but I've got no choice. Joe, yeah, I think they're going to. I think they're going to really soon. Again, they just rolled out that message that I was showing you guys where they have a date. They're stopping all sales of Project X at the end, which they don't have to do, but makes sense at December 31st. I'm sure they're going to have an update where they, are going to allow people to migrate. But again, I'm sure there's a lot of back-end work that needs to make sure that that's done properly, right? You're not just opening a new account now. You're transitioning people that have balances, that have different limits and risk things set up. But it's trash, absolutely trash. So anyway, guys, no trade for me. I can't physically place a trade if I wanted to. The market is, not open now with Project X, or at least on Top One Futures. I'm gonna hang out. I'll watch the markets with you guys. We'll frame out a potential trade. I'm not touching any other Tradeovate, instant funded accounts right now that have come back to trading. The live account. At some point into next year, I'll be doing another challenge with some instant funded accounts. We'll be looking at that. But yeah, I'll keep you guys updated as soon as it's going to be an option to be able to migrate off of Project X. I don't know who in the right mind would want to stay. I don't know who is going to be buying accounts on Project X. There's great opportunities there, and I've got a lot of other accounts with other firms on Project X, and I have to ask myself, is the headache going to be worth it? Is it really going to be worth it? I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna watch MES on the 1 minute. It was kind of my my game plan coming into today anyway. I tried, guys. I tried to find a way to get more trades in with you. Try to find a way to make use of this time. So far, we're just chopping around. I'm curious to see. Part of a trade number 1 with this could have been a long back through VWAP. So I'm kind of interested to see if we come back down through this low. Coming up on initial balance here. So I'll be taking a look and see what we get out of ES here. Insane. Got my trade this AM only because of trade evade. So kudos to Step 1 Futures for quickly handling this nightmare. Yep. My entries on top 1 is rejecting. Yeah. Yep. You have no idea what a bad car is until you drive a Ford Pinto. How do I join the giveaway? Giveaway coming in a little bit, man. This is quacked. Yeah, it's quacked. It's definitely quacked, guys. No, Zach. You call up the Mercantile Exchange and you place a trade. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Yeah, absolutely insane, honestly. Like, I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't even have this reaction. I should be expecting it already, but yeah, I think we're safe to say that Project X is completely cooked, as the kids say. Just absolutely imploding this year. Really disappointing. You know, but it happens, right? There's different innovations across different spaces, right? This is a completely new software and platform. You know, over a year ago now at this point, maybe 2025. We're coming to the end of 2025. Yeah, probably a year and a half since this has been out. Almost 2 years. I'm trying to get the date right, but you know, it's gotten worse. Like they didn't have even these types of issues earlier on. It's just gotten so much worse. You know, maybe you know, some of you guys are speculating that it's a back-end issue because there's too many prop firms on the servers. There's too many users. Maybe. I mean, I don't know. The writing on the wall is there with, like, anytime there's a small change. Dre said, like, hey, we could have seen this one coming. I really wasn't even thinking about it until you said that, but I could have seen this one coming because there's a contract changeover today, right? Big surprise. You know, there's massive problem right at the open, you know, after some small change. There was a big problem when the time zone changed. So I don't know, man. Not much we could do outside of try to find our way off of it, right? Acknowledge the issues and try to find our way off of it. But just craziness, just absolute craziness. I'm back up. My trade's still green. Hella pissed though. Yeah, see, yo, good. First off, nice, good job. But like, dude, honestly, guys, here, let's talk about this. Let's give some more value instead of just bitching and complaining. Number one, if you're today dealing with this, you probably are best suited to just call it a day. You like to just say, now I'm pissed. Like Nate just said, I'm frustrated. I'm annoyed by this whole thing. I missed opportunity. I was stuck in a trade. Whatever it is, I'm thrown. And I know that I'm not going to be as set to not go on tilt, to not have any kind of emotional control problems today than if this didn't happen. I'm better to just lock it up and go touch some grass, to go read a trading psychology book, to go back test, to go review my trades, to go work on something else. Most people, I think, you know, are going to do better doing that, because this stuff can throw you. This stuff can really throw you. So, you know, if you're in any one of those situations and you're listening, you're hanging out, again, no suggestions or recommendations to do anything, but I'd be really cautious. I'd be cautious to continue to trade through this, because I've had multiple, literally a dozen traders tell me the same thing. Had an issue, couldn't get out of a trade, couldn't take a trade, I missed a setup, and then what happened? I forced the next one. As soon as it came back on, I wanted to get back in the same direction, but I had a worse entry, and then I took 47 other trades, and I know that's all my fault, but it stemmed from this first driver. So if you can identify this problem maybe that comes, you can react to that. So I would be cautious. Second, if you're going to trade on Project X, I think you should record your screen every single day from start to finish now. I think you literally need to be recording your screen every single day, probably with another data feed up, so you can't even dispute that, because you're going to need to, you know, have some evidence when you go to reach out to their support and say, you know, my trade, I had an issue with an execution, you know, the system was down, whatever it is. Screenshots probably aren't even enough. And the frequency which is happening, I would record your screen every single day. I literally would not be on the platform without recording my screen. Which is insane to say, but I think you should do that. I really do. Way too frequent of issues. Way too frequent of issues. So this was kind of be like idea number 1 for ES. That looks like it would be cooked. This looks like idea number 2, now that we've rejected multiple times after yesterday's volume point of control. Jumping in short on something like this, maybe stop back above VWAP up here. Try to run this bad boy to the downside. I physically can't put a trade on here. I'm not going to load up a live account or some other prop firm accounts. I'm happy to display to you guys what's going on in my world. But this could be idea number 2, trying to get a continuation, actually catching this to break down. Trading this way, if we just chop back and forth, you end up getting chopped up. But this is looking pretty weak. It's looking pretty weak so far. I would be interested in a short. It's a little bit late to the party now that I'm starting to look at it, but something short on this for continuation to the downside. I think we could move lower here at ES. If we're just going to build a base down here and then reverse and pop to the upside, could just be in the realm of getting chopped, but that could present an opportunity to the downside just back to this overnight low level, just to sweep that low. Anyway, we'll watch it play out. Pretty choppy so far though, pretty back and forth. Here's our open, right? Here's our 930 open. Here's what we've got so far. Where's 930? VWAP dead set in the middle here. Pretty choppy back and forth. Looks like we want to try it to the downside. I think you're maybe picking a direction a little bit early on this. Anyway. Hella pissed though. Top trading didn't miss much action. YM is in a range. Might break out. Insane. I'm BE letting it do its thing for a reason, and it's gone again. Yeah, Nate, I'd wrap it up. I'd get out, man. Completely lock it up. Completely lock it up. There's no reason to keep trying it. I would try to exit. I would record your screen. I would take screenshots, and then I would not continue to try. Because here's the other thing, guys. It seems like Top Step and others help you out a little bit, right? As far as fixing trades that were having an issue. But they've started to do something where, as soon as they have an issue, they throw an announcement out in Discord. And then I think people have gone back and said, maybe not any one specific firm, but have gone back and said, well, there was an issue and you continued to trade. You guys were alerted through email. It was on some status report. It was alerted in Discord. Why did you continue to trade and blow your account? That's on you. That's not fair, in my humble opinion. I don't think it really makes sense. Right? Not everybody is, there's a requirement to constantly check your email or watch Discord or something. But I think that they could start to use that. And I think they will use that. I think they will start to use that as a defense. So I would be cautious. I wouldn't touch it. Record your screen so you can, have a defense. But now we know there's an issue. And if a platform is up and running right after, you notice something, again, not to put any blame on the trader, but there is a reasonable level of responsibility here where you're like, wait a minute, it froze, the candles are all glitching for an hour, now it seems to be okay, and I can hit the button, so let me push the button, and then it locks me out again. At some point, we're going to be starting to ask for a problem. Trading on Project X right now, I think, at all is asking for a problem completely. So, you can grain of salt that, but... yeah, I would like this short. I actually like this short. I'd like the short for continuation. Low time frame movement to the downside, right? Where was that? Wow, there we go. Something like that. Get VWAP in the right spot. Something like that. 1-to-1 out of that bad boy would be all the way down here, just for a little crack below. But yeah, something like that, like a breakout to the downside. This probably would have been 1L first, right? If we weren't having any issues. I may have taken a long back through after a dip. This probably would have been 1L, if I'm being honest with what I probably would have done here on MES, trying to get some trading in with you guys, some forward testing. We'll see if this comes down and break overnight low. That could be trade 2. It's not worth not really worth anything to say what I would have done, right? Well, you didn't, so it's not worth anything. But maybe a breakout for a continuation of the downside. CVD dropping off pretty heavy. We got levels above and below. Nothing really stand out extreme on Bookmap today, but insane. So yeah, guys, I wouldn't push it. I wouldn't try your luck. You know, maybe you get free resets. I think also a lot of these firms, I'll throw one other thing here. A lot of these firms, I think now are noticing that since they've had blanket resets and blanket, you know, give back accounts and reinstatement and all negative trades are clear, you know, they're training everybody. You're going to get your trades cleared as soon as you know, there's an issue. And so, of course, like I've watched it be said multiple times, YOLO your account, full port as soon as there's an issue, because if it hits, you get to keep it. If not, you get it, you know, reset. That, you know, obviously they're not going to allow that to happen, right? So eventually you're going to get caught full porting all of your accounts as soon as they're an issue, and they go, we're not doing that today, guys. You're shit out of luck. So, you know, that's another consideration. Crazy. Yep. Update from the Project X team is they're still working through their services to get back up. We'll immediately update you once we've corrected the issue. Yep. Yep. Insane. Insane. Let's see. Elapisto. You didn't miss much. Yep. Was in. Now I'm out. Can't even lock it up. Yeah. Stop whenever remove negative trades. And Atasta does. Yeah. They've handled problems in a similar way. But again, what I'm displaying here is a lot of these. What I'm talking about here is a lot of these firms have just had blanket like removals of trades. But I think that they're creating a bad habit of traders anticipating that coming, and I think a lot of traders are going to be caught on the wrong side of when they don't do that, and they've intentionally full ported all their accounts because they're hoping that all the negative trades will be cleared and we get resets and we get accounts reinstated and we get a whole bunch of free stuff, and then they don't do that, right? And I've started to see firms, I'm not going to name any, but I've started to see firms not do that. And specifically, as soon as they send out alerts to like email and Discord and everything like that, they go, we acknowledged it, we alerted you, we told you not to trade, you continue to trade, we're not responsible. Again, I'm not going to say that's fair or not fair, but I really do think if you're going to choose to trade on Project X going forward, you are acknowledging that there's going to be an issue. You should be expecting a massive issue, like pretty frequently, to blow all your accounts and then to like not get help on it. I don't know why it would be reasonable to expect anything else than what's been happening, which is just constant issues. So that's the thought. Yeah, ducks, Muhammad. We'll have some ducks running. Must be nice to have full control of the platform you're paying out from. Yeah, look at that. Omega's got his eyes open. Good morning. Nate, you guys talking in the chat. Yeah, so breakout to the downside looks like it would have been paying pretty nicely. Again, I think from the morning, if I was trading ES here without any issues, I probably would have taken an L here, getting long back through VWAP for continuation, probably with a stop somewhere right down below here. Maybe, hopefully, maybe I would have went break even. Maybe I would have been stopped out, and hopefully I would be quick enough to have shifted to this trade that wow, I'm really twitchy with my platform. But hopefully I would have been able to flip to this trade quick enough to be able to structure a short I think this is something that could potentially really push to the downside if we start to break below this low. But that'd be getting pretty close to a 1-to-1 there. The way that I'm trading ES here, more aggressive, would probably be break even, maybe even adding in on the way down, looking for a break in continuation. But I'm no trade. No trade because Project X sucks. We will bounce off overnight low. Maybe. ES seems to really respect key levels that I have on the chart. Overnight low, prior day low, overnight high, prior day high, weekly levels. Crazy. Kobe Clark. Oh, sorry, I was missing you a bunch of you guys on Kick. My bad. I was just too absorbed into what was going on here. Stuck in a trade, was up $1,600. Now drawdown. It's been happening way too frequently. Yeah, it's cooked. Yep. Can't enter anything on top of futures. Project X is being for me like electrics from Apple. So good, so pretty. I'm so used to them, but they are not on top anymore. Yeah, they told me to record my trade. They told me last time to be recording my trades just in case. That's crazy. That's crazy. Imagine you're telling traders to record their trades just in case there's issues. That's crazy. Yeah, it's nuts though. I would not be trading on Project X at all, guys, without recording your screen. I'd be recording everything you do. Because when there's an issue, you're really going to need to have proof. You're going to need to be able to try to back yourself up. And screenshots, I think, used to be pretty good, or they would just acknowledge it quick. But as a whole, even more than that, and again, I'm biased, right? I'm partnered and affiliated with a firm that is one of all of the firms that is losing access to Project X. But I think it could be I think it'd be pretty obvious as to what I'm talking about here and why. While I'm sitting on Project X right now at 10:30 a.m. Eastern on one of the last good trading days of the year, and I can't physically trade my live account or any account, that's on Project X. I think you're going to have to ask yourself coming into 2026, do I want to accept this platform, which has now become the least reliable by a long shot, to continue to put my money with? What do I think an opportunity is so great that it drastically outweighs any other platform, and I'm comfortable on a platform with massive reliability issues, and to keep putting money there? It's unfortunate because again, this was a great platform. It really was a pretty solid platform, and I think specifically Top Step has a lot to offer, a ton, right? Again, I'm partnered and affiliated with another firm, to be biased against saying that. But I think they've maintained being, one of the really top eval models as far as reliability. They are the longest standing in the space. All of these things, great. I think they've made a lot of different moves over the last year, which I didn't agree with, and things that I didn't like. But the ability now with them to only be able to trade on Project X while it's having so many issues is just insane. It's disappointing, right? As someone who likes to try to leverage all of the opportunities available to them across firms, right? As a prop firm trader myself here with you guys, I think you're going to have to ask yourself that question, right? There's a lot of analogies I can make, but the car one is the one that suits me best. Your car breaking down every day. It's a piece of shit. It's a piece of junk, right? You're going to keep driving it and be mad when there's other options for different cars, or you're just going to get in that car because you know the car and you like the car. I don't know. So, it's tough. You guys make your own decisions. But again, after this, I really there's been so many, but really after today, I think I'm not going to be upset or disappointed or surprised at all. I'm going to go, yeah, of course. It's melting down. Is it outage? Everybody blew their accounts again today. Thousands of traders can't trade. Yeah, of course. It's Project X. It's the least reliable platform by a long shot now. Not even close. Weekly issues. So, you guys handle it how you see fit. You do your own research. You make your own decisions. But really, really nightmare situation. And honestly, I think Luckily for all of the firms, all of the other firms, and Top One included, that they are pulling the plug because this thing is a nightmare now. And really grateful that Top One is working for a long period of time to get set up with Tradeovate, NinjaTrader, and TradingView. So we have not only another alternative, but the best alternative, in my humble biased opinion, the leader in the space, right? So that's what we'll be soon, guys. Tradeovate and NinjaTrader and TradingView. So anyway, that's the that's the thought. I'm in tears. I think Top Step was going to announce their brokerage today. Yeah. Yeah. It's insane, Dre. Absolutely insane. Yeah, that's been coming, right? Long time coming. Top One Futures. Top One Futures. Project X, which is pretty clearly, or we can assume is, part of Top Step, is launching a brokerage, right? Like a live account where you would just be able to trade a normal live account with Top Step and Project X. Dude, good luck. I wish you guys the best of luck if you send it on that one. That's crazy. Crazy work, but listen, it's not their, I'm sure it's not their fault. I'm sure they didn't want it to go this way, right? It's not, I'm sure they would love this to be a reliable platform and none of these things to be happening, but you're making a big decision when you say nobody can trade on any other platform anymore. You have to trade on Project X. We're removing everything else. And they offered the most platforms. They had the biggest variety and selection. You're placing a lot of weight on the one that you're forcing everybody onto. But anyway, you guys watch this stuff for yourself and you decide for yourself how you want to handle it. I've watched so many videos on Orb, I understand the mechanics fully, but I always get chopped in it no matter what. And then only... Yeah, we're talking about opening range breakout. Yeah, opening range breakout's interesting, guys. A lot of people trade it in a specific way. We can talk more about the markets and Orb. I'll give you my thoughts on the 15-minute opening range. We can mark it on ES here. There's not a really strong stat that ES breaks. Here's my thoughts on the Orb, right? Most of the time when people are talking about Orb, ORB, opening range breakout, they're talking about the 15-minute opening range. Not always. There's many different opening ranges, and you could trade opening range breakouts on many different opening ranges. But here would be, where's 930? Yeah, there's 930. So here would be the opening range high, the 15-minute opening range high right here. Let's just make this like a crazy color. And here would be the 15-minute opening range low. There's 945. We broke both sides of this immediately and then chopped around. And then we even broke it to the downside here and we're coming right back in. The stats from Edgeful on this one are not like the stats on the 1 hour opening range, right? It's not nearly as strong that we break one side and we don't break the other side. In fact, often we break both sides. And for a long time, I think this was over a year ago, I was trading really aggressively, fading the opening range breakout. I would aggressively fade the first break of the opening range back to the other side of the opening range. The ASFX guys were doing that for a while as well. I don't know how they're handling it, but I don't think the Orb is all it's cracked up to be. I think, especially on ES or the US indices, I think you could use it in a lot of different ways. But as far as just saying, I buy on the first break of the 15-minute opening range, or I sell, to the downside when it breaks the low, and stop loss on the other side, I don't think that that's an efficient approach at all. Maybe you trade breaks and retests of it. You use those levels, in certain different ways. I think that could be helpful. But they're not statistics that line up with what we see from like the initial balance, right? In fact, it went the other way for a long period of time, but then that kind of died off, kind of like backed off a little bit where we were breaking out to one side. But, back test this stuff for yourself. Try to figure it out for yourself. Oh, for sure, brother. Absolutely. Made use of delay on Project X, checking Tradeovate and all that. Yeah. Top Step TV actually signed off 20 minutes ago. Did they? No, they didn't. No, they didn't sign off, did they? No, they're still live. They're still live. Come on, guys. No FUD. I think they're still live. I just Googled it. They did? Wait a minute. It's still showing live. Oh, it says... Oh, no. It says we'll be right back for status visit. Oh, man. Oof. Yeah, man. That's bad. That's really bad. Yep. Sorry, guys. No, sorry. They did leave. I saw it was still live, so I didn't want to say that. But yeah, that it says off. Yep. Been like 20 minutes of that message. Yeah, they do this every time. Yeah, well, I mean, what are they gonna do? You know, sit there and say, "Oh, look at our great platform." You know, it's down. Good luck. I mean, I don't know. You know, you can talk about the markets, but you're just constantly gonna have a chat of people roasting you. You know, yelling at you. So I mean, I get it. I'm not even gonna fault them for that. And I don't mean to like laugh or smile, right? Like in that way. I don't have any bad blood with them over there, right? In fact, I like a lot of the guys that are over there. I was on Top Step TV for a long period of time. You know, I don't have anything really negative in that respect to say. I'm frustrated with the issues with Project X the way that everybody else is, but you know, it is what it is, man. You know, you guys decide this stuff for yourself, how you want to interpret it and think about it. I voiced you my opinion multiple times, but it's just a frustrating situation for sure for everybody. You know, for everybody. Anyway, I'm gonna move on from this conversation though and try to talk about something market related. What questions do we have about the market? We're talking about the orb. Orb is my baby. It's legit my strategy. I have my own discretion with it, also specific to the times prior to the 15-minute orb setting. Nice. Nate, we're talking about the orb. Nate's crushing it on the orb. Obviously, Nate's taking max payouts, effing killing it. I look at the market conditions, pre-market, and then create a plan for the orb longs and orb shorts. Nice. Yep. Top Step TV logged off. We talked about feeling like that for 20 minutes. Yeah, that's what they do now. Complaints in chat about TSX going down. They shut it down. They couldn't handle the chat going off. I love Top Step, but they are shooting themselves at the moment with TSX. Catch you later. Have a good day. God bless. Go for a walk. Yeah, great idea, Nate. Just touch some grass. I'm at a point where I don't want to trade my XFAs there. You never know. Yeah. If there's going to be an issue, what kind of, if any, resolution will be. Yeah. Yep. I feel similarly. Hey, one thing I want to talk about. Let's try to. I'm gonna try to not just yap about the same thing. If you guys have questions, feel free, throw it in the chat. Talk about the orb. I also trade the 15-minute orb, but I use confluences with it. I don't just enter as soon as it breaks one side. Would like to see break of structure type of thing, and then target next draw on liquidity. Yeah, absolutely. I don't think. I think you could just backtest just trading the breakout of the orb, and you would find that, you know, maybe it does well for a certain period, but in the long run, it's not enough by itself. I do think an opening range, like the 15-minute opening range, can definitely be useful, can definitely be helpful. Similarly, that I don't use any just one thing on my chart, right? At its core, price action, market structure, you know, volume, utilizing, you know, key areas of interest, but I don't use just the overnight high and low, right? I don't use just VWAP. And the same way you guys are saying, you know, opening range breakout, the orb is helpful, the 15-minute opening range is helpful. You're not just using that, right? Maybe you're, you know, taking a look at where we are in relation to yesterday's, you know, daily candle volume profile, right? You know, maybe you're more biased to trade, you know, the breakout to the upside or downside. Maybe you wait for one side to break first and then something to happen, break and retest, some kind of retracement into it. You know, and you apply your discretion with it. And I think in those respects, it could be very, very helpful. But a lot of traders see something like that, or they hear something like that, and they go, oh, 15-minute opening range breakout. All I have to do is plot the first 15 minutes, right, high and low, and then trade the breakout, right? You know, like as in set a stop, buy stop, and a sell stop, and just send it, right? Stop loss on the other side, or stop loss at 50%. You know, maybe you find something that does work. You custom tailor something that seems to work really well, but I don't think that alone, applying like no discretion is really going to be enough. So I think in those respects it could be helpful. It's definitely not my bread and butter. I prefer the initial balance, which is already set. It's a much longer setting range, right? It doesn't give you a lot of help and context immediately off the open the way the 15-minute opening range will. You know, but You guys decide to backtest and build confidence in things that you find helpful. Right? You find helpful. Be right back, guys. I want to talk about NASDAQ trading 23 hours a day. That was a big topic of conversation before Project X melted down again today. So we'll come back to that. I kind of just wanted to like talk about that a little bit. I'll be right back, guys. Back in action with you guys. Let's see. Get to watch the market, even though I'm hella distracted talking about all these issues. But get to watch the market. That's never a bad thing. But I'll hang out with you guys for a little bit. I'm not gonna make it a super duper long session since this is still going on. But we'll talk about it a little bit. We'll run a duck race coming up pretty soon. Hop in the Discord. Link is pinned to the top of the chat if you want a chance to get an instant funded account. We're going to run a giveaway soon. Don't ask me 47,000 times about it. I'm going to put information up there, and you guys will get it. But you're going to need to be in the Discord for a chance to win the giveaway. That's the first indication. Slothfather, I love IB break and enter on the pullback to the 25% of the IB. Very nice. Very nice. Yeah. I've made that a trade plan via edgeful data. Very nice. Coming into equilibrium on the 4-hour in this area. Looking to go long between here and the platform is down. Yeah. Nice. Yeah, we'll get some ducks going. Zach, serious question. I actually trade the news far better than day to day, but most firms don't allow it or they have a consistency rule. Give your experience trading. I'm assuming you mean given your experience trading, what ideas am I missing? So first, in my experience, most futures prop firms allow news trading. Most of them don't have news trading rules. I don't know that I've ever traded a futures prop firm that has a news trading rule where you have to be like out before and after. If they do, that's obviously going to be an issue for you. Number two, almost all futures prop firms and Forex and CFD prop firms nowadays are going to have some type of consistency rule. Either a percent consistency rule, a minimum trading days to pay out, a minimum amount of profit that has to be made in a minimum amount of days, some consistency type rule that's going to require you to keep trading, right? You can try to find firms that have the most lenient consistency rules that would allow you to put up really big profit on one specific day. But for the most part, you're going to deal with that at pretty much every firm. If you find that you have an incredible edge trading news, right, and it only comes around every so often and you put up really big outsized gains, I honestly think a live account, although that's going to put all the risk on you, a live account is probably going to be your best option, right? If you are a home run hitter or you are a single day big profit trader, prop firms in general aren't going to work wonderful for you. Some better than others, but for you specifically, I'd be looking to make sure that the firm has no news rules and has, a path to payout that allows you to put up, big profit and then maybe continue to trade on however much you have to trade on in order to get a payout. But something with no rules and no restrictions is going to be your own live account. It's going to be the drill. Duck Race Forum not in Discord. Nope, not yet. Did I say it was we're doing the giveaway just yet? I know a friend lets you put up whatever profit you want, and then glitch, it gets taken away. Yeah, there's a lot of those, unfortunately. A lot of those. But yeah, that's kind of what I would go for. I don't think the news trading rule so much is an issue as much as the consistency rule. But prop firms aren't going to be great for every trader, right? Most traders are not at that extreme. But if you are a really low win rate, high risk to reward trader, or you have really big outsized gains all on one day, traditionally that's what your month looks like. For the most part, prop firms in general are not going to be very well suited to you and your style. They require that to some degree or another. They're going to require that. Some are going to be easier to work with if that's the style of trading that you have, your results, than others. But for the most part, there's going to be, and I've seen it just more and more and more. They're all moving towards more and more consistency rules. And if you think about their model, they just can't allow for that to happen, right? They have to have that police against the sim farming, which is exactly that, right? Windfall profits all on one day, all on big news trades, and then nothing else, right? Or a lot of losses across the board, over the course of however much time. So for the most part, they're going to structure against that. So I would utilize prop firms, and I would consider a live account, right? I'd consider a super small live account to start working with that, but there ain't no rules in the live account, boys and girls. Technically, there's margin requirements, just the rules that your broker sets, but not going to be a consistency rule in a live account. Not going to be a minimum trading days to pay out in a live account. You're going to make or lose your money, and that's going to be that. That's going to be that. But yeah, we're talking about changes in the prop firm space, talking about issues with platforms, talking about everything going on here today with Project X. If you guys didn't see, NASDAQ is set to release or set to be able to allow 23-hour-a-day trading. In the futures market, we already have that. It's kind of nothing new, business as usual. But a lot of people are questioning and making comments on how that's going to change volume, volatility during the regular trading hour session, during the extended traded hour session, overnight, what that's going to do to the market. I've read a handful of pieces on it, and they kind of contradict each other. Like some, they're all over the place, and I don't really care. We're gonna know when we know, right? We'll see if there's any kind of big influence on what happens during regular trading hours or extended electronic trading hours. But for the most part, here's what I wanted to get at. There's a saying, I think it's from the Market Wizards book. I can't remember exactly how it goes, but there's a quote that's essentially the markets. It was somebody being asked about algorithmic trading being first introduced decades and decades ago, right? Computerized trading. That was all new at one point. And the comment was, the markets are the same as they've always been, and they'll be the same as they've always been because the markets have always been changing. They were changing back then, and they're changing again now. The thought process is, and the point of that quote is, yes, that's probably going to change the markets, right? Things continue to come in. New things continue to be introduced that continue to change the way that everything moves in the markets, right? There's some constants in here, but the markets are dynamic. They continue to change. Things like this will continue to influence, price movements, right? Volatility, volume, all of it. But one thing has held true is that there's always been something changing, right? The markets, right? The financial markets have continued to change. What we're doing here today is completely different. It could not be more different than what was going on a couple decades ago. And a couple decades ago, it was completely different than what was going on 50 years before that, right? So the markets continue to change. It's usually not at the most rapid pace as like prop firms and things like that, platforms and stuff we have going on, like rules, but they're dynamic. And great traders that last long periods of time, from what I've seen, because I'm not including myself in that group, are dynamic. They are flexible. They're able to adapt to the changes that occur. They're able to continue to review and improve and remain flexible. They apply a lot of consistency. They operate with strategies and approaches that work well, but they recognize that we are trying to dance with a dynamic beast here, right? These markets that are ever changing. And, that's been going on in the past. And I think there's really big leaps that come, right? Like the move, out of, physical open outcry pits onto just screens and things like that. The introduction of, high frequency trading and crazy algos that, that are now, a massive portion of the markets. There'll continue to be big shifts and changes like that will impact everything that we do. And, if you're going to be able to stand the test of time here, you got to be able to adapt. You have to be flexible. You have to continue to try to figure out ways to adapt to the ever-changing market. So don't freak out. Don't get your, don't get your hair too twisted, man. The markets have been changing. They're always going to change. There's always things that are coming and going. There's always something that says, oh, this ruined the market. Zero DTE options ruined the market. Or this, being weighted in this U.S. indice, this algo ruined the market. Like, I don't think anything ruined the market. It just changes it. It just completely changes it. So continue to be flexible. Continue to be flexible and expect that. There's API connecting and disconnecting I just saw there, which is interesting. I think it's going to be a big thing. The opening, I think, will be much more subdued and volume get more disturbed, I think. Yep. Yeah. So again, I read a lot of different takes on that, right? We're talking about the NASDAQ moving to trading 23 hours a day, right? Damn, I was muted the whole time. I'm not even going to repeat it. That tells you how much I read the chat. My bad, guys. I know I'm back in action there, but you can tell how I'm often not staring at the chat as I'm talking and I'm staring at the market, so my bad. I don't think I'm going to repeat on that. We want a refund. Yep, here everybody will get a $0 refund. Just make sure you send the email to realdealfutures.com, and we'll get everybody refunded. Insane. My bad, guys. It was about the NASDAQ, the 23-hour, the changing. Maybe I'll go on to something else. There are about 4 red folder news events each month, you know which, that I could take advantage of. But I usually only look for 2. And I'm not sure I want to sit the rest of the month out. Listen, Rhombus, man, if you find something that's working incredibly well, that provides you an edge, unlike any other situation that provides you an edge, it begs the question, why would you put on risk during situations where you don't have as much edge, right? Just because you want to trade, just because you want to try to capitalize on more opportunity. You know, if that was the case, the logical answer was, well, yeah, of course I would sit everything else out, and then I would just put more risk on when I have the, highest probability of a positive EV, or I, believe I do, right? So, you can think about that. You definitely think about that. I want a refund. Half the stream was muted. Yeah, that was a long one. That was a long one to have on mute. Damn, man. If I had a mute jar, I'm putting money in it. All right, guys, we hung out long enough. It's 11 o'clock. Not that I'm running it. Not that I run these at 11 o'clock. If you don't know, I run giveaways almost every day, but they're random days, random times. You don't have to ask me when the giveaways are. They're random days, random times on stream. When the giveaway happens, chat, what I do is throw this up on the screen. And then in the 100% free trading Discord, which is pinned to the top of the chat, the link is pinned to the top of the chat, and it is in both of the chats on Kick and on X right now. Now, I will drop the form, which is now live in Discord. You guys have 10 minutes. You have until 11:10 a.m. to get that form filled out. Read the rules. I'm only going to repeat them one time today. Going to repeat this all one time. It's giveaway time. We are doing a giveaway for a 50K Ignite instant funded account from Top 1 Futures. One person will win after we run a random duck race in 10 minutes. Go ahead and fill the form out in Discord. The link to join the free Discord is pinned to the chat, and I just threw it in chat. Don't fill out the form more than one time. The winner has to be in the live chat on one of the streams in order to win. We're going to pick the winner in 10 minutes. If you can't get into the Discord because you're in a country that doesn't allow you to get in through WAP for some odd reason, shoot me an email, support@realdealfutures.com, and I will send you a link so you can join one in the future. But I'm not going to be able to get you into this one because you're in some country that's prohibited or restricted, and you're probably going to be prohibited and restricted from trading with Top 1 Futures altogether. Only time I'm going to repeat that. That's it. And then I will ask everybody to go back to this timestamp at 1 hour, 45 minutes, and 30 seconds. There we go. Mike is muted. Yeah, no. Definitely not having to repeat that one. Definitely not repeating that one. I repeat myself way too much on stream. I need to slow down and be clear, put the info up on the screen, repeat it to you guys. Lay it out to you guys only one time. This way we don't have to hear the same shit over and over and over again. So that's the drill, chat. That's the drill. Go ahead, get the form filled out. It is in Discord. It's in the main chat in Discord if you want specifics. While we are waiting for that to happen, separate from this, we have a deal still running with Top 1 Futures. Top 1 Futures is 50% off. Code RDF gets you 50% off all accounts, along with no minimum trading days, ability to copy trade up to 6 accounts. And as you can see down here, what we are advertising, obviously heavily today, Trade of 8, NinjaTrader, and TradingView I wouldn't be buying more Project X accounts, guys. I don't know. Maybe you think about what happened today and you decide to not do that. But if you're ready to get set up on Tradeovate, maybe you want to start testing. Maybe you get your hands on an instant funded account. You trade it slowly. You start to get comfortable with using TradingView and Tradeovate, or testing on NinjaTrader coming into the end of the year before you put some serious risk on. I think this would be a pretty good opportunity. Link is in the chat. Code RDF gets you the deal. You can get set up trading Tradeovate, Prop, NinjaTrader, or TradingView today. You can be trading towards profit that you stand to withdraw without any issues. For what I could see from today, I don't see really any issues out of Tradeovate. I don't know. Maybe they're down too, but I haven't seen that. So anyway, guys, you want to check that out. Link is in the chat. Code RDF gets you the deal. I'm going to go around the horn as we're doing the whole thing. Another one that's heavy. I'm going to plug everybody while we're getting everybody on the form to get filled out. Remember, guys, I'm partnered. I'm biased. I stand to make money from links and codes. Can't be unbiased if I stand to make money. Do your own research. Make your own decisions. Bookmap. If you like the data that did not go down today as Project X went down, over to the left-hand side of my screen, order flow, you can check that out through Bookmap. They actually have a better deal than what I'm showing here. They have a 60% off, which is their Cyber Monday deal. It's still up. I don't know if they mean to have it still up. I don't know what they got going on, but I'm going to throw their link in chat as well. It's the best deal that I've seen out of them all year. Most other firms and software have kind of just ended their Black Friday, Cyber Monday stuff. Bookmap is still going strong. Best deal that I've seen out of them ever, actually, is the 60%. This was running for a really long period of time beforehand, which is pretty sweet. But just a link to that one. Straight link, no code to Bookmap. That's what we got rolling. That's what we got rolling, chat and McChat. So 11:10, we'll get a duck race loaded up. We'll get somebody funded with an instant funded account. First person to ask me a question that I already said gets banned. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Only that one dude that asked this, that just kept repeating himself over and over and over again. And then I slowed down and I said, hey, this is for the one person that keeps saying the same thing over and over and over again. And I think they were actually trolling me. I think they were just having fun. That was mad funny. One thing I will repeat, which is important, because I like to just give you guys, a lot of flexibility and freedom, but I like to be really clear. Do not spam this form. Don't fill it out more than one time. If you fill the form out more than one time, not only are you going to be banned from all future giveaways, you're going to get banned from everything that I have to offer, everything that Top 1 Futures has to offer, and anybody else that I'm affiliated with, I'm going to try to get you banned from. Don't do that. It wastes my time. It wastes your time. You're scamming everybody and taking an opportunity away from people that actually stand to win something. So just don't do that. Don't be a terrible person. I've been super patient with it in the past. I've zero tolerance for it now. Absolutely zero tolerance. Also, these accounts come straight from Top 1 Futures to your email. If you use somebody else's email, it's going to go to their email, even if you don't want to listen to all the other stuff. You can't use the account anyway. They will not transfer it. I won't transfer it. I've been asked in the past. You just don't win anything if you do that. But it can't go to anybody else. You can't say, oh, I won, but I already have a different email. Can I put it on this email? No, I've already talked to the contact and say as soon as somebody asks to do that, it's an immediate no. And let me know who it is so I can ban them. Oh. Yeah, guys, you also have to put a name, right? I'm just going to throw this one out there, by the way, because someone just filled the form out. So I'm talking to you who's filling the form out. You have to put an actual name, right? Your name is not cashier, right? Your name and your username, and it's not cashier, right? So put your actual full name where it says full name. Otherwise, you're not going to win. I'm going to assume that you're not being truthful if you can't even put your real name down. Also, the account's got to go to somebody, so put your actual name down. You can put your username down wherever you want, but whatever you want for an email. But if you put the same thing over and over and over in a bunch of different spots, including where your name is supposed to go, I'm going to assume you're not legit. Oh. All right, guys, 60 seconds to get the form filled out, and we're wrapping it up. Got a bunch of people on today. Let's see. My name is really Jerome Powell. Yeah, ducks. Not available in my country. Yep. Dear bots, the props do KYC. They will know you're cheating at the end. No payout. I mean, if you're smart enough, they can still catch you. Yep. Yeah, it's just a waste of time. It's a waste of time to try to do that. You're wasting your time. You're wasting my time. You can't transfer it. You can't win multiple times. They're gonna know if you won multiple times. Not gonna work for you. Nice. Took the short after the retest of VWAP. Nice. 50-minute opening range. Appreciate you guys hopping on as always. Also, just so you're aware, we're trading live here 9:15 a.m. Eastern almost every damn day on YouTube, Kick, and X. 100% free. No course, no VIP. Discord is free 99. I don't claim to be the best trader. I don't say I have it all figured out and I got some magic strategy and all you got to do is give me some money and I'll tell you the secrets. None of that stuff. Just a regular dude trying to turn a profit in these markets. I think I've got some juice. I've been trading a Top 1 Futures live account, the one that you see right here for the last couple months that I've been able to hold on to and take 11 payouts from. I've taken multiple payouts almost every week over the last quarter of this year from multiple firms, which has been pretty sweet. But you don't have to take my word for any of that, and you shouldn't. You should just watch it play out here. And today you could say, damn, this dude was on Project X like me all day and just had an issue and the market's closed and he didn't do jack shit. So that's the day today. Yesterday it was a trade that ran all day for a $70 L. That's why I trade live, free every day, no paywall, straight from the platforms that I'm trading on. You guys can watch this stuff play out for yourself, decide whether or not I have any value to provide hanging out with me here. Right? Nice mutually beneficial relationship. If you want to use a code or a link and support me, support the channel, support yourself with the best deal, I greatly appreciate that. But you don't have to. And I'm always happy to tell you when I'm biased and not able to be unbiased because I stand to make money, which is important to do. I repeat it 47,000 times. I preface it because I think it's really important to note that all of the time. Really important. All right. Let's run it. Chatty McChat. Giveaway form is done. 11:11 a.m. I gave you a couple extra minutes here. We got our ducks in a row. We have. You guys want a longer race today? You guys want a short duck race or you want a long duck race? You want like 5 minutes on the clock? Doesn't matter to me. You guys want to watch all of your ducks on screen or you want like a short one? I'm just curious of whether or not you like the longer race. 2 seconds. I don't know. Long, short. Yes. A lot of people said yes. Muhammad said short. Muhammad, I don't know, man. I think you might only be here for the duck races. You could be here for the duck races, but I don't know. Every day it's 3 ducks, and when is the giveaway? All right, we got 5 minutes on the clock. We're going to do a little bit longer of a one today. Let's see. What did you guys end up saying? Short. Damn, short? 5. All right, we're going to do 5 minutes today. 10 seconds was too long for me. All right, you know what? We'll run 5 minutes today, and then we'll run like a 10-second or a 20-second one tomorrow or something. We'll run 5 minutes today. Good luck, everybody. Appreciate you guys being here. I don't know. Everybody always likes to see their ducks. They yell at me and go, "I didn't see my duck." This way, you'll probably see your duck out front. Look at that, just with the early lead all the way to the front, and immediate stop out. Damn. Tom Ward, same thing. Mark 4-footed, Enzo, Pa Young. We'll see. We'll see if any of these guys that broke out first end up front. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll mix it up. We'll do some long ones and some short ones. Let's see who's got it today, guys. Let's see who's got it today. Sloth Father with hella dancing ducks on kick. That's mad funny. Jess at the Project X duck. Dwayne. Yo, I'm out. I'm out. I can't do it. That's too much. How many does 96 ducks today, guys? 96 ducks. Yo. Oh my gosh. Oh man, that's funny. The Project X duck. I'm out. Oh my god. That's too funny. Way too funny. Let's see. Yeah, we did 5 minutes today, 3 minutes to go. Yeah, nobody who broke out front is still up front. Lot of ducks hit their stop losses, but I think this makes it interesting. I think we get a big round and round we get to see. Maybe everybody gets their duck to the front, but most of what we've seen, the technical analysis on these ducks, most of what I've seen is the breakout ducks, the early leaders, they don't seem to do too well. They don't. That first 1 minute candle print, it's usually not setting the direction for the entire rest of the duck race. Usually we get a breakout out of nowhere, last minute run to the end. But there's been some people that have led into like the last 20, 30 seconds on these that have really held out. So we'll see. Big mix around on this one. Complete just back and forth. Nobody really holding too strong. Release has been up there. Oh, right when I said it, I jinxed it. Train with Luhan up top. He's been holding strong in the bear suit. We'll see. But we don't know about these longer races. Early breakout ducks might get their second win. There you go. Maybe that early breakout comes back. Maybe it's a break-in retest. Comes all the way back. Oh, look at that. Muhammad to the front. There he is. Saw my duck. If it wasn't 5 minutes, I might have not seen it at all. There you go. 5 minutes is good. Yeah, we'll see. I'll change it up, right, guys? We're having fun. Listen, not that it matters. It's random, right? But we like to have fun with it. Judge Duck is coming. We'll see. Lots of rockets in the chat. You guys are funny. Way too funny. Let's see. About a minute to go. Yeah, big rotation. Checking on the markets, continuing to push towards lows here, but pretty choppy, man. This doesn't look like we missed too much, honestly, guys, with Project X being down. Really choppy. NQ looks like an absolute nightmare. Just straight up chop fest. ES, you're still breaking and retesting VWAP and now continuing around lows, so looks like the short could have potentially paid, but rejected pretty harshly over those pre-market lows. Let's see, coming up on 30 seconds. Let's see who's getting funded today, guys. Let's go. Fast Money says there's nothing random. Only break and retest is my stop loss. Just got back into TSX. What's the giveaway prize? It is a 50K instant funded Ignite account from Top 1 Futures. Just joined. That's a lot of ducks. TP was hit. Nice. I know NQ. All right, 8 seconds to go. Dwayne down on the bottom, holding really strong. Cyrus coming out of nowhere. Up top, we got a couple ducks. Cyrus 7393. Let's see who this is on the form. Nobody go anywhere yet. Remember, you have to be here to claim it. That's part of the deal. Let's see. Cyrus, what's up? Where you at? YouTube chat. Should be Cyrus. Should be that, actually. Cyrus 7393. Where you at, big dog? Let's see. There he is. In the chat. W's in the chat. We have a winner. He is the cigar-smoking, distinguished Professor Duck. This is he's straight out of the pits of Chicago. Way back when they were smoking stogies inside. The number 20. Congrats. Everybody throw W's in the chat. Go ahead. Spam it up now. Cyrus, I got your email, my brother. You'll be getting an email straight from Top 1 Futures at some point today with your account. It's going to be a 50K Ignite instant funded account. If you guys missed this giveaway today, how will you get into the next one? Hop on the free live sessions here every damn day, 9:15 a.m. Eastern. Also, hop into the 100% free trading Discord that we have right there that I'm throwing again in the chat. We're running giveaways left and right. I also got giveaways rolling on X, on IG, across a bunch of platforms. Guys, that's going to be a wrap for me here today. We got some volatility coming into the market. Still closed out here on, market still showing closed here on Project X due to the issues. Insane, absolutely insane. Glad we got to talk about it and see it live. Going to be really interesting coming over to Tradeovate and TradingView. We'll be working on that live with you guys. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here, guys. If I do anything else, I'll try to be calling it out. I'm not going to touch this account, so I don't think I'll be calling anything else out here today on this one with you guys. But quick disclaimer, remember, I'm not a financial advisor. I don't provide financial advice. Nothing I say or do is suggestion or recommendation to do anything at all. Trading is extremely risky. Most traders lose money. Do your own research. Make your own decisions. Read CFTC Rule 4.41 on simulated trading, which is what this is, even in funded prop firm accounts. And the affiliate and partnership disclaimer that says I stand to make money from links and codes in my content, like Top 1 Futures, code RDF, Bookmap, and others. Appreciate you guys being on here. Thank you guys for being here. Great time. See you tomorrow. Thanks for everything. Yeah, appreciate you guys. Thank you, chat. Thank you. Y'all are awesome. I'll talk to you in Discord. I'll be sending some messages in Discord. I said yesterday I was going to send some voice messages that I did not get to. I'm going to send some messages in Discord. I'm going to try to do that right after the stream. Talk to you guys. See you live here tomorrow. Have a great rest of the trading day. Be safe if you're trading on platforms with issues.